So just for some context, we have about 300-400 engineers in China, while our sales and marketing team is global in London, in US, and in China as well. So actually, the last couple of years, it took us long time to figure out what is the right model to build our product management and engineering team, because we only have one engineering team, but at the same time we have to serve both quite different market audience, the US and China. I think ultimately your product spec, your product specification follow your product organization design. So actually how we design our product organization, it actually your product view mirrors that. We find that we try in the beginning have two product head, one in the west, one in the east, in China. I think it doesn't work. We are lucky that we find a product head that based out of Toronto currently, but he is actually from China. So China and North America is really different. I would say very different market. In China, I think there's one additional stakeholder or element in the whole business ecosystem is government. I think government play a heavy hand in Chinese market. And also the second difference is the Chinese customer, actually they demand a lot. They have high requirement. There's a saying internally that in US, maybe customer pay for $100 of service, they expect $100 of service. In China, they pay for $80 of service, expect $100 of service. So actually, there are Chinese customer actually is quite high in terms of expectation. And the other thing that we find quite different also, Chinese customer, the rate of change is very fast. The way they adopt new technology, the way they iterate themselves is very fast. Even though for our space, maybe started 5 years, 10 years ago, US is leading in terms of intellectual property best practice. But Chinese customer, I would say every half a year, whenever I talk to all the our Chinese customer, every half a year, we can see that the customer actually have a step change in terms of what they are understanding, what they require from us. So I think that is so far some of the differences we find between the Chinese and the US market. From an engineer perspective, I see that engineer build things, we solve problem. So to me, building an organization that works is also part of me. I see that as an engineering problem. I think looking at myself when I first started Patsnap, as an engineer, same as Chihan, I don't know how to pitch. I don't know how to sell. It's important to sell. We are selling our vision. We are selling our company story to everyone, for people, for great talent to join, for great investor to invest in. So actually how to communicate, how to get buy-in, how to influence, how to do a good presentation, value proposition, as Chihan mentioned. I think these are the skills that I pick up along the way. Then I'm lucky I have great partner to work with, my founding team. I learn a lot from them. Along the way, also have mentor like yourself, Hang, and many others, people that just willing to share the knowledge. I think with more cumulative experience, I am having more conviction and confidence in my own vision that I'm pursuing. So for myself, if I were to tell myself 10 years ago, I would tell myself that, hey, have faith and have that conviction and charge ahead. I think if I have more of that in the early years, I think the pace, the way we grow will be much faster, at least for myself.